Hi, I'm Virginia. I'm an executive coach helping corporate women uh, fight the burnout. Either if you're there, how to get out of it, or if you see it staring you in the face, to stop it. Before I started my coaching business, I spent 24 years in banking and finance, where I worked my way up from a teller at a small community bank to senior vice president of a $27 billion bank by the time I was 38. And the journey wasn't because of connections and fancy degrees and initials behind my name. It was about 10, 11 years ago, I had my first exposure to coaching. And when the coach looked at my 360 feedback results and heard the Cliff Notes version of my life, which of course included, being the daughter of a single mom and biggest deadbeat dad in the county. And he said, "This all makes sense, Virginia. It totally makes sense. And if you don't change, you're not going any further." Let me say that again. If you don't change, you're not going any further. I was in my early 30s and at the lowest form of management. And knowing I had another 30 plus years to work, that sounded awful. So I embraced the process and I worked on me and I started studying leadership development and personal growth. And that made all the difference. So that's why I'm really passionate about helping others. And let me tell you, along the way, I nearly burned out. So I get that too. So I'm not just speaking from books and coach training. I've been there. I know. I get it. And it sucks to find that balance. So let's talk a little bit about how we do it. So I titled this program Burnout. It's not just your job. Because it's really not. Especially if you're living in a corporate culture where anybody with any sort of officer or manager title is expected to be in meetings from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's perfectly acceptable to take that 30 minutes you had open on your calendar and then you figure out when to do your work. Yeah, that's tough. But that's not the only reason that you're on this path of frying yourself out. It's how you react to that environment. I was in that environment. And as I think about my colleagues, everybody had their own style. And not everybody was still there at 6:30 at night. Now, yeah, maybe some over-delegated. Maybe some just did just enough to get by. I don't know. I wasn't their manager. But I know what I did. And I didn't do it right. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you are a type A, hypo, high achieving, get shit done, competitive SOB, you are my people. I'm all of those things. So I get it. You are pushed to excel. And we need people like that, right? Why? We get shit done. We meet our deadlines. We advance our teams, our company, our colleagues, our communities, our families. We are making a difference. So kudos. Stay with me. We are an asset to our organizations, our families. Whatever organizations you're involved in outside of work, they appreciate you for all the reasons I just said, right? Especially those people who just do just enough. But you're not always an asset to yourself, self included, right? We put all those things in front. And that drive to succeed, advance, help, save the world, we don't always look to save ourselves because we're somewhere lower on the list. And I'm not going to tell you, oh, well, just make sure you make time on your schedule every day to meditate and do yoga. Hey, if you have that time and that helps you, great, do it. Keep doing it if you're already doing it. But the reality is, it's not our environment. It's how we react to the environment. How do you manage through it? I know, it's tough to hear. I don't like being reminded of it because I got called out a few years ago at the worst point in my career where I was ready to throw in the towel. I'm like, I can't do this. This is physically killing me. And again, I don't think I was 40 yet. Let me say it again. I was under 40 and ready to throw in the towel. And I told my therapist, I go, I think I should just go work at Target. So I'm talking about leaving a comfortable income, an executive title, to go work at Target in khakis and a red shirt. Now, I love Target, and I get nothing for this plug. But he looked at me and he called me out because he knew me. And he said, Virginia, who are you kidding? You're going to work hard no matter where you are. Damn it, he was right. Because early in my career, when I wasn't making as comfortable a living, I was struggling financially. I worked part-time on the weekends at a big box home improvement store as a head cashier. And you know what? I was busting my ass for $10 an hour. So he was right. I could change the environment and it might help, but it wasn't going to solve the problem. I needed to change. So don't give up on me. Hang in. It's just our hardwire, and that's what makes us successful in all aspects because of that. So we just have to fine tune it so that we're not costing us ourselves for the benefit of everybody else. And just changing your environment won't do it. I've learned that the hard way. Since I started my coaching practice, I'm in complete control of my calendar. Whereas before, somebody was telling me where to be, what time I had to be in at work, what meetings I had to go in. I seriously had somebody one time send me a meeting request. They had looked at my calendar and I had 30 minutes open and available that day. And they said, you only had that 30 minutes open. So I took it. They didn't say, hey, I see you're pretty busy. Can you squeeze me in? They actually thought to themselves, I'm going to take that time from her. So now, nobody really does that. I mean, yeah, there are certain commitments that are at set times. But for the most part, I'm in control of my calendar. Don't hate me. Because I had to learn how to manage in that environment. I was so used to, I have time where there's white space on my calendar, that having this white space, I said, oh, I have time for that. Oh, I have time for that. Next thing you know, I'm doing even more at church. I got pulled into another community commitment that's a big one. And hey, it's time for all the administrative work of the field hockey season. And all of this is going on right now while I'm also trying to run my business that is more than just sitting in meetings or time on the calendar with clients. There's other stuff to do. And I didn't adjust to my environment. And all of a sudden, I hit a wall. And I lost a couple days because my body said, shut down. You're tired. We need rest. You're running too many ways. And maybe it wasn't I was physically going to places, because I'm not. We're constantly dialing to one Zoom call or one conference call after the next. But I was juggling a lot. It was how much I was managing. And it hit me, and I had to learn, wait, this is a new environment. I have to learn how to balance, how to manage my time. So we can all have that realization without having to have a change environment. I share this to let you know it's not just the environment that's going to make the difference, right? So once I had this, what did I do? First, listen to your body. If you're getting sick, if you're getting run down, stop and listen. If anything has come out of the pandemic of last year and this year, it's that this badge of glory of pushing through and going into work and working when you're sick and not giving time to physically rest doesn't help. It spreads. Not just within you, but to others. So first, listen to what your body is telling you. Don't be the hero and push on, because you know what? It's not good for you and it's not good for anybody around you. And if you're managing people, it's even worse, because then you're sending the message to them that they need to do that. So stop. It's okay. The next is give yourself permission. Right? I bet I'm not the only one who used to, hey, my team needs time. My team's feeling overwhelmed. Let me help. Let me take that on. No. Take your PTO. Take your sick time. Do what you got to do. You got to work from home because you got a contractor in, whatever. But I didn't give myself that same permission. Give yourself permission to say, you know what, today, I'm just going to do what needs to get done today. The list will still be there tomorrow. It's okay. Or give yourself permission to say, you know what? I can take a break. Things will function without me. I've instilled in them. I don't need to be there. Or you know what? I can delegate. It's okay. Let me give somebody on my team something new to learn. Let my teenager learn how to cook. If it's awful, we'll just bear through it, or order pizza and say, hey, you tried. No worries. You remember that doing it all yourself actually doesn't help those around you learn. So give yourself permission to also not only say, here, you can try this. And hey, do your best. Or, you know what, today I need rest. Give yourself permission sometimes to say, you know what? No, I don't need to be in that meeting. Thanks for the invite. Send me a note with the outcome. Say, no, I can't take on one more fundraiser for the PTO. I've already done 2 this year. It's okay. If we have a little less funds, we'll adjust. Or somebody else needs to step up. It's okay. Give yourself permission to be human. Do you hear me? Give yourself permission to be human. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to work 24/7. You don't have to do everything in your house, in your community, in your team. Let others do. Take a break. Learn where you can delegate. Give yourself permission to be human. And the other thing is, notice the patterns. When am I starting to get, I'm moving a little slower. My brain's a little foggier. What's going on? Okay, you know what? Now is the time for a break. Or, learn your own patterns. When I need a break, when I need to say no, when I need to delegate is different than you and the person next to you and the person across from you. You got to learn, just be aware of your own style. We're not all cookie cutters, right? I enjoy yoga. I had a colleague who she couldn't stop giggling through the whole thing. Well, that's not very relaxing to you or the people around you. It's okay. Do something else. We're not all the same. So notice your patterns and your routines and adjust. And say, hey, this is when I need to give myself grace. It's going to be different from everybody else. But listen, if you're the type A, get things done, save the world, awesome. Don't stop being that. We need you. So you need to take care of yourself. Because if you don't, who's going to save the world? So whatever it is that drives you, keep that in focus. Because when you're not operating at your most, badass, get shit done self, everything that's important to you suffers. So even if you're still struggling to make you the priority, think about the impact it's having on the things that drive you. Your family, your work, your community, your career, whatever. Maybe it's your dog. Maybe your long-term goal is to make enough money to leave your corporate job and Go do dog rescue work. Awesome. Well, if you burn out, you're never going to hit that dream, and all those puppies are going to be needing somebody else. So, it's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to delegate. If you're not sure, you're like, that makes sense, Virginia. I don't know where to start. I get that. I didn't either. It took a lot of trial and error. So I've learned. I'm here to help you. So let's connect. Let's find what your patterns are and what works for you. That's what coaches do. We help get you on the right path and keep you moving forward. It's pretty cool. It really is. So, check out my website, virginiawalton.com. Drop me a comment on Facebook, LinkedIn, message me, text me. You can find my number on my website. I'm here to help you. Don't do it the hard way like I did. Be the smarter human. Seriously. It's not that hard. So, maybe this didn't resonate with you right now, but you never know what somebody else is struggling with. So, consider sharing it with those that are important to you, because they may need to hear this right now. And with that, be well, and thanks for your patience about the generator noise in the background.